In today's video, I am going to be breaking down easy 4-out basketball plays. Basically, what a 4-out is you've got 4 players on the perimeter and 1 player in the post, whether that be a high post or a low post. But generally, this is what it's going to look like. These are great plays for younger teams if you have a really tall or really good center and you want to try and basically get yourself some easy baskets, whether that be off of a screen and roll or potentially just off of some quick ball movement. So let's get down and let's check this out. But really quickly, if you want a deadly defense to be able to stop offenses like this, make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. Okay, so to start, how we are going to set this up is we are going to have in this first play our center on ball side in the low post. The ball is going to be out between the slot and the wing. We're going to have our other guard in the exact mirror of the court, just on the other side. And then we're going to have our rest of our 2 guys in the corners. How we are going to start this play is to have player 5 set the screen. This would be a back screen on player 3. Player 3 is going to cut to the rim, and this could be our first option in this play. If that's not open, he is going to then continue his cut, and he's going to go to the low post of the opposite side. Next, player 5 is going to then set the screen for player 1, and player 1 is going to then attack the basket. When player 1 attacks the basket, player 5, he can either pop to the 3-point line if he has a 3-point shot. So if you have a center who is a reliable 3-point shooter, this could be an option. However, generally speaking, we will have him short roll to the free throw line. This gives player 1 a lot of different options. So obviously he has the lane to the basket. He can score himself. The other option is if player 3's defender, who is in the post, if he comes out and plays help defense, well then we can pass the ball down to player 3 for the layup. Or if there's a miscommunication and we have a double team off of that screen, then player 1 can pass the ball over to player 5 for the mid-range shot. So either we are getting two layup possibilities out of it, or we can get a mid-range off of it as well. Now, if the defense rotates, which I really highly doubt at younger age groups, if they play help and they rotate properly on help, well then in this case, player 1 can still continue his dribble to the baseline, and then he can kick it out to player 4 for the 3-point shot. Okay, so now in our second play, we are going to have player 1 and player 2 come together at the point for a dribble handoff. On the dribble handoff, what I want to see is player 5 to also come up and set the back screen for player 1. So now, after player 2 uses player 1 as a screen, player 1 is going to use 5 as a screen, and then of course we can get that easy layup off of that back screen. Also, player 5 could pop, and this could give us a secondary option for a 3-point shot. So we're either getting 3 points or we're getting 2 points off of a layup. Now, if none of this is open, we are going to then continue through with player 2 with the ball. Player 1 is going to go to the opposite low post. Notice how we always have a player in the low post, whether it's a center or somebody else. Now what I want to see is player 2, he is going to then set the dribble handoff with player 4 from the corner on the wing. Once this happens, player 2 is going to drift out to the corner and player 4 is going to attack the paint. Now, with him attacking the paint, generally speaking, the elbow, this could be a mid-range shot. If there is help defense, he can then kick it over to player 1. He could obviously attack the rim himself. He could kick it out to player 5 if the opportunity was there. If none of this is open, if he was cut off, or if none of these passes were there, he can reverse dribble out, and now we can go back into our initial offense that we just ran at the start, which is now going to be a dribble handoff between players 4 and 5. Player 1 is going to be coming up for that back screen. So now player 5 comes off of that dribble handoff. Player 4 then rolls to the rim using 1 as a screen yet again, and we are doing the exact same offense again. One of my most favorite plays that I like to run in the 4-out is to have player 5 pop up to the elbow, and we are going to then make that entry pass into the high post to player 5. When this happens, we're going to have off-ball wing. He is going to then cut first. If he's open, you can hit him with the pass and he can get that layup. If it's not open, player 4 will then lift, player 2 will then fill out, and we're back to where we started, except player 5 has the ball. Now, player 5 can pass out to 4, he can pass out to player 3, he could pass out to player 1, and then it's just going to result in a screen and roll. So if he was to pass to player 4, which is usually the most logical answer as he is the player who just lifted and is probably some kind of open, then he can pass that ball to player 4, he can set that screen, and now player 4 can come off of that screen, player 5 can roll to the basket, and now we have a lot of different options. We could pass to player 5, we could kick it to player 3, depending on where help defense is. If the gap defender was to drop, he could then kick the ball out to player 1 for a 3, so there's a lot of different options off of this play. So make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book if you want to be able to stop plays like these. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. Hit that like button and subscribe.